Hill. I teach third grade. I do not have a dog, but I do have two kids that love dog stuffies. So I have a whole bunch of them here with me today, along with this guy. And we are going to read chapter 13 of Hooper Finds a Family. I'm on page 70, and chapter 13 is called So Long, Jimmy. I'm thirsty from the trip, and as soon as we go into the kitchen, I find my water and food bowls. I slurp up the water. There's kibble in there too, but it doesn't look that good compared to the hot dog I had my eye on outside. I don't like how the kibble smells, and if something doesn't smell good, you shouldn't eat it. Larry comes inside and hangs up his coat. Brian, I hear him say, what do you think? He's cool, Pop. What does he look like to you? We gather in the living room. Larry's in a better mood. He's not talking about how puny I am or what a dumb idea it was to get me. They all sit in silence for a while and study my face. What's going on, guys? I think we should call him Newman, Jane says thoughtfully. Nope, Larry says right away. He doesn't look like a Newman. Ew, Newman? That sucks, Brian brays. Jane and Larry glare at him. Well, it does. It's like a teacher's name. Larry shakes his finger at Brian. Look, I'm tired and not in the mood for your smart mouth. Could we not stress, please? Jane begs. I made a list of possible names. She runs up the stairs and comes right back with a pad. Stop me when you like one, she says a little breathlessly. Milton, Murray. Murray? Are you kidding? Brian yells. You name an old bald guy Murray. Harry, Ben, Logan, Bubba, Yoda, Steve, Penske. Penske, Larry sneers. Larry's right about this one. Imagine introducing myself as Penske to a new friend. Scratch Penske, Brian orders. Okay, Jane mutters. No need to get hostile about it. I trot over to sit beside Jane, since she has the list. There's a rug in the living room, but it doesn't cover the whole floor. There's a little strip of polished wood near Jane that's slippery. My front paw gets away from me. Whoops! The corner of the rug bunches up and I go flying into the side of the coffee table. Larry and Brian burst out laughing. Jane kneels down to see if I'm okay. I'm fine, but I feel like a major clod. No one would ever believe I made my way between two roofs above a flood. I just look like a clumsy little puppy. A useless, puny, clumsy little puppy. Larry looks at Brian and says, why don't we name him Thud? That's so mean, Dad, Brian says, but he's still laughing. Jane scowls and goes on with her list. Herbie, Kramer, Roger. Larry cuts in. I think Thud works. He's a klutz. He flops over if you look at him. Jane gives Larry a dirty look. It's a lame name, Brian says, getting back to business. Well, we don't have to name him tonight, Larry says restlessly. Yes, if we wait, maybe someone will come up with Jimmy. I don't know, Jane shrugs. Suddenly everybody's getting grouchy. Wait, Brian says, I think I've got it. Well, get on with it then, Larry snaps. Oh, relax, Jane snaps right back. She isn't one bit afraid of Larry. I wish I could be brave like her. Hooper, Brian shouts. There's a little pause. Then Jane beams. Yeah, Hooper, I like it. I like Thud, Larry says glumly. But Brian's made up his mind. He grins at me. Come here, Hooper. I stay put. Maybe if I wait, they'll keep looking for another name. How about it, Jane? Anything left on your list? On the other hand, they might come up with something worse than Penske. Is that possible? Brian calls me again. Here, Hooper. Oh, all right. You can call me Hooper if you want, but I'll always be Jimmy. I walk over to Brian's side, slowly and carefully. I don't want to slip again. Come on, Hooper. I want to show you the most important room in the house. Brian calls happily as he runs up the stairs, 2 at a time. His room is the closest thing to dog dreamland I could possibly imagine. There are piles of deliciously smelly clothes all over the floor and on the bed. I don't know what to roll in first. And the smells. Sweat, poop, pizza. Every smell a dog needs in life. And best of all, the odor of another dog. I sniff a basket of stuff in the corner where the smell is strongest. Those are Hammer's toys. Brian sounds sad for the first time since I got there. But they're yours now, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of new ones. Brian empties the basket onto the floor, scattering more delicious smells for me to investigate. But the things that roll out are strange. Nothing to do with dogs, as far as I can tell. See? Here. Brian tosses a ball in my direction. I watch it whiz by my head. You're supposed to catch it. I am? Why? Never mind. We'll play ball later. Sure, later. Right now, I'm a lot more interested in exploring the smells all around me. I plop down in the middle of a big pile of clothes and roll. This is wonderful. I rub the scent all over my back. Why do you dogs roll in stuff? Brian asks, watching me. That's easy. It's so other dogs will think we smell cool. Stay where you are, Hooper, Brian says eagerly. I want Dan to see you like that. Dan's my best friend. He lives across the street, so you'll be seeing him a lot. Brian grabs a phone from under a pile of clothes, presses a button, and holds it up to his ear. Hey, Dan, he says, you gotta come over and see the new dog. He's in my room. He's rolling around in my clothes. There's a pause. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Can you come over tomorrow? Another pause. Yeah. See ya. Brian tosses the phone down. He can't come tonight, Brian reports to me. His mom is making him study for the history test he's going to fail. Brian, Larry shouts up the stairs. Is Thud with you? Yeah, Pops. I got Hooper up here. Has he broken anything yet? Why does Larry dislike me? I stop rolling, drop my head, and sigh. Brian sits on the floor next to me and pets my head. I think he understands. Listen, he tells me, he misses our old dog, Hammer. And I have a feeling it's going to take a while for him to get used to you. I look over at the toys, Hammer's toys. They were really big buddies. They played ball every day. Dad hasn't been the same since Hammer died, but I know he's going to love you. We just have to teach him how. I think about how much Mama and George loved me, and I get even sadder. Nobody had to teach them to love me. They just did. Jane yells from downstairs, Bri, I'm going to take Hooper for a quick walk, and then I'll keep him in my room overnight. But Mom, he'll stay in your room when he gets used to it here. I want to keep an eye on him for a few nights. Brian gives me a hug and lips my ear again. Hooper, let's go, Jane calls. I gallop down the stairs and remembering the hot dog around the corner. Jane doesn't take me past the hot dog on this walk, but there are lots and lots of other good smells. She doesn't let me sniff long enough, though. Every few feet, she tugs me along. The amazing thing is all the dogs I can smell. There must be hundreds of them. I can smell males and females, big and little, healthy and sick. I can smell the ones who just ate kibble this morning and the ones who got delicious scraps. Scrambled eggs, bits of sausage, milky bowls of soggy cereal. Yum. I wonder what kind of dog Hammer was. Was he a good old boy like me? If Larry liked him, he probably wasn't much like me. Was he tough and strong like One Eye? I don't think I can be like that. I don't think I could be any kind of dog that Larry's going to like. I'm still thinking about this when we get back to the house. Jane opens the front door and leads me upstairs and into her room. It doesn't smell as good as Brian's room, but it has a huge soft bed with squishy pillows, fancy blankets, and a fluffy quilt. Hey, this just might be better than sleeping out in the yard or under the porch. Maybe there are some things about this new home that could be okay. Here's something important to know about dogs. We are territorial. That means that we find out how much space belongs to us and we keep an eye on it. We don't want somebody else's dog staking out our bowls, bones, and other spaces we have made our own. These are ours. I begin to figure out how I can make a hunk of that big bed my territory. Larry has stretched out on the left side to watch television. Jane disappears into the bathroom to take a shower. I figure I've got my best shot at the bed when she comes back. I lie down on the floor and wait quietly and patiently until she returns. I'm minding my manners just like Chrissy told me to. Isn't Hooper adorable? Jane smiles as she opens the door and sees me half snoozing. He needs a bath, Larry replies, still staring at the television. I peek at Jane to see how she'll respond. I'll give him a bath tomorrow. I wonder what a bath is. Jane climbs into bed on the right side, which leaves me a pretty good slice of space in the middle. As soon as she tucks herself in, I make my move. I scramble between them somewhere at knee level, knowing if I get too close to Larry's face, I'll get booted right back to the floor. Off the bed, he orders, but Jane comes right to the rescue. He's so scared. Let him stay, just for tonight. Larry grumbles and rolls over. I can see where this is going, he says into his pillow. So can I think to myself happily as I fall into a deep, lovely